Hello and Happy New Year, Scorpio. Welcome to your January 2025 tarot card reading. Now, if you are interested in a private reading with me, I do have January slots available, so I'll put the information on how to book with me down in the description box down below. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, Scorpio, what is it that you need to know for January 2025? Oh man, this card, I cannot tell you, has come out so many times this month. And the reason I suspect is because the North Node is moving into Pisces. And as it does so, it is immediately coming into contact with Neptune. And there's just this theme of like letting it go, right? Let it go, let it die off, get rid of it. Maybe there are some really big choices that coincide with this where in order for this new life to really take off, you are going to have to walk away from your old one. And I don't think the North Node in Pisces is going to be all that friendly when it comes to like really calling us out and being like, you have to walk away from this. You have to get rid of it. You have to change this. You have to change that. And that's just kind of the nature of Neptune, is we have to let things dissolve. And while like we probably won't be able to see things clearly of like, well, what will the outcome be if we do that? And that's what makes it so scary. But that's the thing with sacrifice, right? We have to make the sacrifice first, put all of our investment into ourselves, into our future, into what we want, and then we start seeing the results. But we can't have one foot in one world and another foot in another world and continue to straddle that threshold while still expecting for the new world to flourish, right? Because if you're still got one foot planted in the old world and you're clinging to old world things, it's going to make that new world, it's going to be really, really hard to develop that. Okay, so we have to sacrifice. We have to be willing to let go. And that requires a great deal of faith and self-belief and belief in the divine in order for us to do that. A time to give rather than take. Yeah, I mean, even just the word give, it's like has that outward quality to it. It is time to give. And I know that this probably means a little bit more like giving back to people and whatnot, but I'm kind of almost seeing it more sacrificial, like give it back to the universe, like give your old life back to the higher power. It came in, it served its purpose, but it's officially obsolete. Okay, this is not a time of gathering and consumption. It's Capricorn season. Consumption and gathering and new things usually happens after the Aries equinox point. So right now we're kind of in this process of like outward stuff, right? Outward. And the more focused on the release and the elimination we can be, probably the better off we'll be too. Okay? So what else, Scorpio? What else do you need to know for January 2025? King of Coins. Alrighty. Well, first of all, I like the yellow that's coming out in the first two cards. Really speaks to self-confidence, self-belief, sense of personal authority, listening to your instinct, listening to your guts, no second guessing yourself. This is the appropriate time to have all the confidence in the world that the plans that you have established already are good plans and that you should continue to proceed with those things. I look at the King of Coins and I see perseverance. Now, the thing I like about the King of Coins is he is not in a rush. And what's funny about it though, is like the more not in a rush you are, probably the faster things will go. It's kind of like that inverse relationship there. It's really relaxed with how he approaches things. And he approaches things with that abundance consciousness as well, as does the Chariot. there's no lack here. I don't see any lack. And maybe that's how you need to approach the sacrifice in your life, saying you're not actually giving things up. What you're actually doing is you are gaining a whole new life. You're gaining a whole new existence, a whole new way of being. The King of Coins is practical and logical, but also he pushes, and he doesn't hold back. He doesn't hold his punches. He knows if he keeps going, he knows if he perseveres and he does a good job and continually provides value to the world, then he will gain. Okay, now again, we're not in consumption mode. We're not in this mode of trying to acquire. We are in kind of a giving mode right now. So what I would say is focus your attention on the value that you bring to the world, and position yourself in such a way that you can do that better and earn more and reach more people, and things will find a way. Okay, the money will come in, that the abundance, all that will come in. I look at the Chariot, I see big decisions, I see transcendence, but I also see, when I say transcendence, what I mean is transcending current states of existence and replacing them with higher states of existence. So again, it's kind of like you graduate into the next tax bracket kind of thing. Okay, I think that might be the goal for many of you. I look at this Chariot and I say, well, you do have to exert will and effort into the physical world. Okay, this is not just about feeling it on the inside. Okay, that's lovely and that's great, and having that internal motivation is wonderful, but we don't always have that. And I don't know that you will have it. It's not a matter of whether or not you're motivated or not, whether or not you're inspired or not. It's, are you going to do it or not? That's the real question. And the Chariot, King of Coins, says, well, yeah, of course. It's the logical, rational thing to do. Of course I'm going to just do it. I may wake up today and have zero motivation, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm not going to whine about it, and I'm not going to complain about it. In fact, actually the opposite, I'm going to be very peaceful about it. I'm going to have peace of mind. And while there might be big steps that need to be taken and big sacrifices that need to be made, I'm going to feel good about it. And I'm not going to let it affect me, and I don't see, at least in the first part of January anyway, I don't see it affecting you. So what else, Scorpio? I'm really liking the High Priestess coming out. She's really solidifying this idea that our intuition is not only strong right now, strong and loud, but I just don't think we're going to miss the mark, which means we can have so much trust in our decisions. And that when we're thinking okay, I think this is what I need to sacrifice, I think this is what I need to let go of, there's no I think. It's not I think I need to do this. It's I know I need to do this. And there's a big difference between I think and I know. And Scorpio, you know what you need to sacrifice and what you need to walk away from, what you need to give away. It's just a matter of implementation. That's where it comes back to with the King of Coins and the Chariot. It's possible you may have to confront some deeper things with that High Priestess card. She tends to reveal a lot. She tends to reveal fears and insecurities and things like that, but not to make your life worse, but specifically so you can deal with those things and overcome them. And I look at both of these, I'm like, yeah, you're in the business of overcoming stuff right now, Scorpio, which is common for you. I think that's a part of your archetype, and that's one of the beautiful things about Scorpio is that constant reinvention that they continually go through. So this isn't a problem. It's just something to be aware of. And I also look at the High Priestess as something kind of secretive and something behind closed doors. And I am seeing a lot of this in the shadows. In fact, actually, I think I called the Virgo reading in the shadows, because it's well, we got to kind of do this stuff away from the public eye. And we're doing things, we're making big moves that like no one sees, with the exception of maybe like a spouse or a child or someone who's really, really close to you. It's just, people don't need to know your business. People don't need to know what you're doing. People don't need to know what big life changes you're making. It's so funny. I kind of am getting the impression that you feel more joy and more excitement with the privacy. Now, the whole like privacy, Scorpio being super, secretive, that's kind of a stereotype. A lot of the Scorpios I know are kind of tell-all people. But, whether you're a tell-all person or a really secretive person, I don't know that it matters. I think right now it's a very secretive thing. Very few people having access to you to kind of get the lowdown on what's going on. And I think it's because you don't want people to ruin your optimism and your hope, which comes through with the Knight of Cups. That's the beautiful thing about the North Node coming into Pisces, is the optimism and the sense of boundlessness. Like, there are no limits here at all when the North Node is in Pisces. So we have the no limits of North Node in Pisces, and all the building blocks and mundane tasks that need to be achieved with the South Node in Virgo to help support that big picture, North Node in Pisces. So we're not trying to interrupt this intricate balance that we have going on for this period of expansion. I look at this Knight of Cups as romantic as well. Like, Scorpio, you're kind of romanticizing this process, and maybe there is a little bit of a whirlwind that you get caught up in. But again, it's all very easy. It does not feel like you're overexerting in effort in any way. There's effort, but it's not overwhelming and it's not intimidating or anything like that. It's natural. And look what happens. We get the Ace of Wands. It's like there's a renewal with the Ace of Wands. There's a renewal, there's hope, there's adventure, passion, sexuality, creativity, artistic stuff coming through. It's like, I feel like you're getting hit with a massive burst of inspiration with that Ace of Wands, which of course is lovely. And of course you deserve, and I think will aid in a lot of the plans that you already have going. But keep in mind that all of this happens only after the big sacrifices are made, only after you actually walk away from things, because only then are you going to have the capacity or the bandwidth to genuinely receive this. Because many people are going to have these sparks, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it because their lives are so convoluted with all the old stuff. And I just don't see you being in that position. I don't see that being a good position for you to be in anyway. Okay? Let's see what else comes out, Scorpio. Okay. I'm loving the Tower this month, like so much. To me, it feels like a timeline shift, a very real one. And I know that's something that like the New Age spiritual community throws around all the time. You're going to just change your timeline, all very willy-nilly. But there are moments in life that are definitive, right? They're pivotal. These are the moments where everything does change. Now, this feels quiet because, like I say, behind the scenes with the High Priestess, there's a lot of secretive stuff. Now, the Tower, I mean, there could be external effects. I'm not saying that's not the case. I don't really know that this is necessarily going to be some kind of a big psychological breakthrough or anything like that. It just feels like you've sort of cracked the code for the next level of prosperity that you're seeking. Like something unlocks here. That's what that feels like to me. This effortless, like it's just you're ready and therefore it is happening, energetic, unlocking, that is going to change the game for the rest of the year, and it's going to change the trajectory that you have been on for the past several years. This feels like it's like a real turning point in your life. I will tell you that your emotional state here with the Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands, like that really elevated optimism, happiness, hope, faith, belief, all that is going to serve you well. It is going to serve you well because it genuinely adjusts the external reality. And the Tower is proof of that. Now, the Hanged Man suggests that you really don't have to do a lot to make that Tower happen other than just be in that more optimistic place. You have to just be in that faithful place. This is probably going to be a lot easier once the sacrifice has been made. This is going to make a lot more sense. Once that sacrifice has been made, the balls can start rolling, the momentum can start building in a more pure fashion. And I think we are looking for purity. It's like if we're going to go all in, we have to be all in. We cannot be straddling that threshold between old world and new world. We just simply cannot be doing that. So we go all in. We put everything we've got, all the chips on the table into who we want to become. Now, please keep in mind, I'm not suggesting like putting all your eggs in one basket, like in the stock market or something like that. Okay, I think, I'm just talking about you for yourself. You in this new version or this new life or whatever. Okay, so you're definitely all in. And the Hanged Man, sometimes there's kind of a taunting effect that I see when the Hanged Man comes out, almost as though the universe is like, just wait and see, just wait and see, just wait and see. And that's all you can do is just wait and see. So you wait and see, you wait and see. Your hands are tied behind your back. You don't have a lot of control. The universe is forcing into a state of faith so that when that Tower happens, you'll say, okay, I understand it now. I understand what all of this was about. I understand this trajectory a lot better. I understand this path, and I understand how all of this works a lot better. I understand that my life is now different and there is no going back. Okay? And then we have the Two of Coins, which it tells me there are still a lot of balls in the air as we come into Aquarius season. You're still keeping a lot of things afloat, but that's okay. I think you're going to be busy because the new stuff is going to require a lot from you. The new life, the new people, the new city, it's going to require you. I think you're going to embrace that Tower moment beautifully. Keep in mind, I'm really not seeing a lot of public stuff coming through. Sometimes the Chariot, there can be a public thing, but more so I'm seeing a much more private experience, Scorpio. So I don't think this is a time for you to be broadcasting what you've got going on behind the scenes to everyone. I think it's a much better time for you to just zip the lips and just head down, do what you got to do, stay optimistic, because again, you do not want anyone else ruining this optimism, because this is so important for the magic. It's so important for the creation, and it's essential for what comes next. And we don't want to cause a hiccup with this Tower. Now, I don't think you're going to be making any mistakes, okay? I don't want to see this Tower get delayed simply because you've invited people with strong opinions into the process that really have no point in being there. Okay? But I think it's going to be a great month for you, Scorpio. I really, really do. I mean, it's kind of exciting So yeah, let's pull out the clarifiers. Okay, so I'm going to pull out 27 new cards, 3 cards per card. So we're going to really open these up and get more detail on what all these mean. So if you want to join me for the comprehensive reading, you are more than welcome. I'll put the information down in the description box in the comment thread down below. Okay, let's see what comes through, Scorpio. What do you need to know for the King of Coins? What comes through here? Another 2 of Coins. A lot of decisions, a lot of details, a lot of back and forth. Well, there's the stress. It's like, but the Sun. Like, you could be stressed. You could be, but I don't think you are. Five of Coins, 7 of Coins, 6 of Cups. Five of Swords, 5 of Cups, King of Cups. I feel like you could be so bothered, and you just are not. You could be so bothered. So many things that could potentially bother you, and I just think it rolls off your back like water. Rolls off like water like a duck off a duck's back. If I could talk. Ugh. I'm going to pull out one more since we got a double down of the Knight of Cups. 9 of Wands, 4 of Wands. King of Swords, 7 of Cups. Six of Swords, Knight of Coins, 10 of Swords. Another 4 of Swords, Knight of Wands, King of Wands. A lot of King energy. Okay. All right, 10 of Cups. All right, beautiful. This is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive, Scorpio. So if you want to join, you are more than welcome. Thank you so much. Have a lovely January, and I'll talk to you soon.